Bonjour, Émilie Talpin, OM System Ambassador in the US. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to talk about a very important topic for macro photography, and it's all about focus stacking or bracketing, or are we using a small aperture like a f16, f18? So let's get started. A lot of people have asked me this question lately about, well, what do you do? Do you mostly use focus stacking, which I use a lot? I use focus bracketing a little bit, but not as much as focus stacking. Or they also ask me, what's the difference, focus stacking or using an aperture that's a small aperture, so f16, f18? I think a lot of people are worried about using f16, f18 or even higher because of diffraction. Personally speaking, I never had an issue with diffraction when I use my OM system cameras and my 90mm or my 60mm macro. I don't think you can really tell when you are looking at a photo that you're sharing on social media. I personally, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm going to show you a couple of examples and you're just going to tell me, do you really see a problem if I'm using a small aperture? So right now I'm in France. I've been doing some macro photography. It's quite windy. My subjects are moving quite a lot. So I don't have the option to do bracketing or focus stacking. My goal is to get the whole insect, my whole bug, into focus. And so for that, I don't have an option. I need to use f16, f18, f even 20 or higher. That's just how I'm gonna get the photo that I want to get. And I wanted to show you a couple of examples of photo that I took recently using a small aperture. I know it's confusing because small aperture, you want to say f2.8. No, no, no. A small aperture is actually a high number, like f22. That is a small aperture. I know it's a little bit confusing. But tell me, when you're looking at those photos, so that is a photo of a hoverfly that was at my mom's garden, and that thing is flying. It's not gonna wait for me. I have a few seconds. And you know me, I use the flash, I use a diffuser, and so that hoverfly is probably gonna be gone after a few pictures. Here, I don't have an option. I'm just gonna use a small aperture to be able to get the whole subject into focus. Same with this little bug. I had no choice. If I want it, it's moving around, it's not static. I need a small aperture again. So all those were taken with small apertures because I know that is gonna be my best shot and I might have just one shot. So I'm gonna start with a small aperture when I take my first photo. Then if my subject is not moving, I will then try to use focus stacking or bracketing and get as many photos as I can to get more details. Although to be honest with you, I think that's quite a lot of details. Like, would you be able to tell that it's not focus stack when I show you my photos taken with a small aperture? Let me know. Post your comments, post your opinion below. Let me know what you think. I think for the type of photography that we're doing, which is mostly posting on social media, it's not just an eye of a fly. I think it works. The small aperture definitely is not going to be an issue. Now, as I said, and if I have a subject that's very cooperative, that's not moving, I'm going to definitely not use a small aperture. I'm going to do a f 2.8, 3.5, 4, and see how many shots I can get, and hopefully it will work. I'll be able to focus stack in camera or bracket my shots and then use Helicon or Luminar Neo. They actually have the option to do focus stacking, and that's what I use. I just use Luminar Neo. but both are great tools. So you can see this spider is focus stacked in camera. And also most of my refractions, so it's when you put a drop on a flower and then it's refracting another flower, or you put a drop in something and it's refracting a subject, all those I think are way better if you are using focus stacking or focus bracketing, because my background is so close to my foreground. It's not gonna work well. I want more blur. And to me, the only way to get that blur is focus stacking or focus bracketing. And if you don't understand the difference between focus stacking and focus bracketing, I want to put a link to a video I made explaining the difference between the two. But if you have an OM system camera, then I highly recommend focus stacking in camera. It's so easy, so fun. You see the result. And then if you really feel like you need even more details and you have a cooperative subject, then yeah, sure, definitely use bracketing. But I would say that in order, my first go-to setting is a small aperture. And then if I see that it's working, my subject is not moving, I will move into focus stacking. And then if I feel like I need more than 15 shots to get that shot, then I'll bracket. But really, most of the time, I'll say that a small aperture is my go-to, then the focus stacking in camera, and then the bracketing. That is kind of my workflow right now. And I know everybody is different. That's not because I do that, that you should be doing that. You should feel comfortable with the tools that you have in your hand and use them to the fullest. And I just thought that I would answer that question because it's a question that I've been asked a lot. And I think it's also will be a good topic of discussion for this weekend. And I hope all of you are doing very well. Right now, I am in France. I am having a blast seeing my family. It's a small trip, but I'm also doing some scouting in my village. And as I said, I'm definitely going to put on a workshop in 2025. I'm so excited to offer it hopefully pretty soon. So I'll keep you posted on that. But I hope that you are all doing very well and taking advantage of the weather wherever you are to take some great photos. And I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Au revoir.